on younow.com to discuss the current events again. This is our third session. Lily Mae had a lot on her mind. She wanted to discuss some things. For those that came in earlier or towards the end of the 12 o'clock hour, you were listening to Loose Ends, Hanging on a String, which was Motivational Brown Gyrlz Finale Friday song. If you follow us on Facebook, we do motivational songs Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Friday was Hanging on a String by Loose Ends. Just something, a little groove to get you through your day. I'm getting ready to post the links of what we're going to discuss in the chat. It'll pop up. Yeah, in the chat.
Hello, everyone. I see we got a nice size audience today. How y'all doing? As Amber's posting the links, I just want to say I hope everybody is having an awesome snowed in day. Yeah, because I am. I've gotten a lot done today. I got a lot more done than I expected to get done. And so as we go through this forum, I'm gonna talk a little bit more about that. But I'm excited. I'm hyped. I'm excited. I'm so glad that you all decided to tune in with us. And so, as always, we love you guys for supporting us. I am happy, Chrissy. I see Chrissy said you're very happy this morning. I am indeed. So, Amber J, let's get rocking and rolling. Where we gonna start?
I have no idea. You the one that had the most on your mind. I was actually in my bed chilling. I wasn't thinking about nothing. I was relaxing, watching Golden Girls. So you. I want to start off with the nation.
Yeah.
Being that I can't copy that and put that because you know that was an actual post.
Okay.
But I can read it real quick.
Okay.
All right. For those that follow us on Facebook at Motivational Brown Gyrlz MBG, Lily Mae wrote pretty much gave some statistics. According to the National Institute for Literacy, National Center for Adult Literacy, the Literacy Company, U.S. Census Bureau, and it reads as follows. I'm sorry, I got too much on the nation. In a study of literacy among 20 high-income countries, U.S. ranked 12th. U.S. ranked 12th. Illiteracy has become such a serious problem in our country that 44 million adults are now unable to read a simple story to their children. 50% of adults cannot read a book written at an 8th grade level. 45 million are functionally illiterate and read below a 5th grade level. 44% of the American adults do not read a book in a year. 6 out of 10 households do not buy a single book in a year. The economy. 3 out of 4 people on welfare can't read. 20% of Americans read below the level needed to earn a living wage. 50% of the employed between the ages of 16 and 21 cannot read well enough to be considered functionally literate. Between 46 and 51% of American adults have an income well below the poverty level because of their inability to read. Illiteracy costs American taxpayers an estimated $20 billion each year. School dropouts cost our nation $240 billion in social service expenditures and lost tax revenue. Impact on society. 3 out of 5 people in American prisons can't read. To determine how many prison beds will be needed in future years, some states actually base part of their projection on how well current elementary students are performing on routine tests. I'll read that again. To determine how many prison beds will be needed in future years, some states actually base part of their projection on how well current elementary students are performing on reading levels. 85% of juvenile offenders have problems reading. Approximately 2% of Americans read so poorly that they are unable to perform certain tasks such as reading prescription drug labels. And I think there's an echo on your end.
Really? Let me see what it is, because, hold on, let me see why. Am I echoing, y'all? Is it still echoing? You think it's a connection?
No, you good.
Okay. So, testing. Literacy and testing is perfect. We can kill two birds with one stone. This morning I woke up with literacy on my mind and how it impacts testing and behavior. And I asked a couple of other educators to tune in. I don't know if they will, but it resonates really, really, really strong because this week we were in my collaborative class, and let me explain what collaborative is. So collaborative means it's a general education teacher and an exceptional education teacher in one classroom. And that's to provide accommodations, which are interventions and supports necessary for students with learning disabilities, emotional disabilities, any type of disability, so that they can fare well in the classroom, in the general classroom setting, which is called inclusion. So this week, the general education teacher said, okay, across the board in the math department, we are going to focus on doing what's called probes. We're going to do a probe quiz every day. Well, the probes are taken from SOL, which in Virginia are standards of learning, which is the standardized test, which Amber talked about how some states use those standardized tests, third grade reading scores, so that they know how many prisons they need to build. And so with that being stated, what happened was that we're given these probes, and before we started the probes, I was administering a makeup test to a young lady. And so the young lady was kind of staring at the screen like this. And so as I was reading the questions, it began to stick out to me that, wait a minute. Once I read it to her and told her to make sure that she drew on each picture as I read, it then started resonating that, wait a minute. It's not that she doesn't know the material. She can't read the problems. So as long as we're drawing pictures on the board, she doesn't have to understand anything associated with the technical terms. But once she started drawing the pictures, she was able to answer the questions. So what I started to find is that there's an accommodation that a kid can have, and it's called either read aloud, oral, or audio administration. So audio, of course, is headphones, and there's a mechanical reader. What I'm finding is that a lot of the students do not fare well with audio. The students need oral administration. Now, this is what you have to think about though. If I have 15 kids who need audio and oral, or just oral administration, think about it. I can't possibly read 12 tests to 12 students in a 90-minute period, right? And so, these are the things that people don't understand about education. They don't understand, number one, that you're developing these standardized tests. The population of kids that you're using to develop these standardized tests are not the population of kids that are actually going to be really taking these tests. They're included in the population, but your population sample is not a representative sample of the general population. Point blank, period. Because where you're administering these, sample tests, those aren't the people that's taking these tests, guys. These are not the people that are taking these tests. I need you to understand that. And so we're up in a situation where we're using these test scores to find out whether schools are going to be accredited, and we're using these test scores to say that this teacher is better than this teacher. This testing issue is divisive amongst the kids. It's divisive amongst schools. It's divisive in between districts. It's divisive amongst everybody. Once again, testing is another tool generated by the establishment to segregate individuals.
Yep.
Now, at what point do we as educators, administrators, other professionals, at what point do we step up and say, I will not stand by this? When will the educators start lobbying? When will educators speak out and be like, I am anti-testing. While I know I have to give these tests because I work for the public school system, I don't believe in these tests. So what ends up happening is you have educators who end up double teaching. So you're teaching for the test, but you also teach the kids the reality. You teach them the truth. Because the reality is that, especially in the area of history, at what point do we start really saying, okay, the test developers, this is the answer that the test developer said is correct. However, the actual correct answer isn't on the test. Hence, what year did Christopher Columbus discover America? Well, the actual answer is never, because he didn't discover America. So, in my opinion, the discrimination index on that question should be the question needs to be cut from the test. But I'm not a test developer. Okay, Jamila is an educator, and Jamila says, yes, I see that with my 4th and 5th graders. I only have 2 out of 10 students that do not have a read aloud on a test. 2 out of 10. 2 out of 10 students that do not have read aloud on a test. And that's significant because Jamila is actually in a completely exceptional education setting. She's in a total, all mutually exclusive setting. So, that's amazing that you have 2 students that don't have read aloud. It's amazing. Mostly black males. That's even more amazing. See, that's what needs to be presented. Because that's amazing. In a setting with all exceptional education students, she has 2 black males who don't have a read aloud accommodation. That's significant. But I'm gonna try to keep this thing rolling. I'm gonna try to keep it rolling. So then I think about literacy and behavior. Literacy and behavior. Because if a kid can't read and the kid doesn't understand what's going on, what is that child going to do? Act the fool in class. And then you're going to say that the kid is bad when in all actuality, this kid is not bad. This kid does not understand what the heck is going on because they can't read. They hear you, but they can't read.
I noticed that when I tutored in the juvenile facility.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed that they get frustrated and act out.
Okay.
Yeah, that comes on your end.
I'm trying to see where it could be coming from. Because there's nothing around me. Let's see. I don't know.
But I did notice that in juveniles that they would get frustrated, especially those that stuttered. So
That's interesting. That's very interesting. Because the reality is that, now this is what I see. The kids, my exceptional education kids who are in a general setting, they are ready to go. They are always, we doing small group today, we doing pull out today. I'm like, yes, but we're gonna do it in the class, so we have like 4 different boards in the class. So what'll happen is I might have a group at the board on the side, and we kind of, adjust our voices. Because my collaborative teacher and myself, we have very, very loud voices. So we adjust our voices so that we can, teach in the same class. And then sometimes I will take them to another classroom setting. But the other thing is, I have to constantly tell the kids, you cannot get so comfortable with the way I'm presenting information to you that you can't understand when the other teacher is teaching. And on top of that, I think we as educators also have to understand that we have to adjust our teaching. There's something called differentiation of instruction. But what I'm learning is that some people can be so brilliant and so smart that they cannot differentiate. Like, they cannot break it down so that people can understand it. And see, that's where the actual issues come in. Because the kids, it's not that the kids don't get the information. The kids don't understand the way that you're teaching them. So now you have kids who can't read. They can't understand what the teacher is saying, so they're frustrated. What do you do? What the heck do you do with that?
Wow. It's a combination of things. And
Okay.
I'm not an educator, so I can't really speak.
Well, but you are.
I'm
Because
not in the education system
yeah.
for school.
Okay, but yeah, you definitely an educator.
I work in the prison system, I see a lot. And for one, I know people who don't send their kids off to school early until it's time for them to start kindergarten. Nobody does no Head Start, no Jump Start, or anything. And then I know people that don't even do anything with their kids at home.
That's true.
For me, I don't know about you, I know for me, I remember being able to write at least my name in my alphabets by the time I hit 5th grade.
That's true. That's true.
Excuse me, kindergarten. Oh my. By kindergarten. So I think it's just imperative that parents really get involved with their kids, but then at the same time, if the parents are illiterate, when do you knock your pride down and be like, you know what? I don't want my kids like how I am. I want them to be better. Because again, and I'm always hitting on history.
Yep.
When you go back, the mother, father, whoever that didn't have an education, stressed. Oh, my children are going to school to get an education to be better and have better. Now it's just like, you want them to be exactly like you. Like, what happened to the progression? What happened to that type of instillment in them?
That's true.
It's little to none. Like, unless your parents may be like older, or kind of like either baby boom or at the end of the baby boomer, so to speak. I'm not saying that all, but I've just taken notice to it. That the ones that are like in the baby boomer kind of around my mother's age or creeping up there, their children are like me. Just like, okay, if they have kids, they on them, they make sure they right, they at the table with them, all types of stuff. The same thing that happened with me. If I didn't get my spelling together, my mom was on me.
Yeah.
And that just reminds me of how you were saying, as far as changing your teaching or switching it up. Like for me, I used to study one way when I was in elementary school, and we had to do spelling tests. We had to spell it out, write it out, all that stuff. So I'm reading it in 1 through 10. I'm trying to study down the line. So what my mom would do, she would take it and flip it up. Which would make me mad.
Okay.
Like, you can't study like that because you never know how the test gonna be.
That's true.
So then I had to be like, okay, I just need to know it to the point where it don't matter what order I get it in, I should know it. So that goes back to teaching, as you said, to the point where they shouldn't just get it with you, they should get it with everybody, no matter how it's being taught.
True.
And that's just something I noticed. But it was very disheartening to see in the juvenile facility, oh man, guys are 17, 18, that if they go back out and do one more crime, they're going to the adult facility and they're struggling to read the newspaper. They're struggling to read the newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, they will get frustrated. And some teachers, no shade, but some teachers used to get frustrated because it's kind of like, I guess you have that such of a strong passion that you want them to get it so bad that it kind of frustrates you at the same time, especially if you don't have no leeway. So as a tutor, I would just say, look, breathe, calm down.
Mm-hmm.
No different from anybody else. Everybody learns different.
Yep.
Sound it out. Like I had to, especially at Carver Elementary, I had to go back all the way back to the EA makes the air sound. I had to go back to that.
Wow.
Because it just went, you had to go back to the basis sometimes. And then it's like, oh, okay. And then they start getting it together. It's like you have teachers that want to teach for them to learn despite of the test.
True.
And it's just not, they got so focused on these tests. I see why teachers leave. I see why they go elsewhere. I see why they may do their own school. Because they don't have no leeway. You can't robotically teach somebody.
That's true. And you know, it's so interesting, Amber, like, people think I'm crazy when I say schools need to go back. And I'm sorry. We fought for the wrong thing. And when I say we, our not even our ancestors, because our parents are still living. Mm-hmm. Our parents and grandparents and great-grandparents fought for the wrong thing. You know, we fought for inclusion. Mm-hmm. When we should have been fighting for equity. Now see, there's equity and there's equality.
Okay.
We will never have equality. So I need you guys to stop talking about we won't equal. You need to understand something. You're not gonna get equality, okay? So
I don't mean to cut you off, but I think with that,
mm-hmm.
how we fought for the wrong thing. I think when we were being taught separately, we were being taught survival skills on how to survive in the white man's world. Now that you get it, now you have an inclusion, it's kind of like you try to teach me your same way, but I'm not going to be treated your same way to get the same opportunities. I have to fight a little bit harder.
You got to fight another battle. That's another thing. You fighting. And see, the thing is, what I need all people to understand, what I need all my educators, matter of fact, I need anybody in a position of anything to understand this. When you are dealing with minority children, okay, and matter of fact, when you're dealing with minority individuals, period, you are dealing with more than one battle. You are dealing with the battle with self because of self-hatred. You are dealing with the battle of I don't know who I am, mm-hmm. because we're not being taught that in the homes anymore.
Nope.
You are dealing with the battle of I'm black or I'm Hispanic and the world isn't built for me anyway. You're dealing with so many battles that I don't think anybody truly understands that when you are teaching children of today, you're not teaching children for real. Like, I need people to understand that, number one, when these kids wake up in the morning, The majority of these kids wake up as adults because they wake up getting their baby brothers and sisters ready for school, getting themselves ready for school, and worried about when I come home, are the lights going to be on?
Right.
Is anybody going to be here when I get home from school? And the reality is that a lot of people don't want to accept is that just because I'm saying this, it's not because the parents still trying to live their childhood. A lot of the parents that you think are just not being responsive are parents that working 2 and 3 jobs just trying to keep clothes on their kids' back, which is another issue because a lot of times they trying to keep too many expensive clothes on their kids' back. But I get it too, because you don't want your child to go to school and get bullied. So you worried about making your kid look like the middle to upper class kid. So you buying your kid iPhones, J's, Hirachis, North Face. The kids still wear North Face, I can't remember, but North Face, Beats by Dre. You're worried about all of this. So you have parents that are worried about making sure that their kid fits in so that they don't get bullied, making sure that the kids have everything that they want because the parents haven't been taught. Parents are worried about so much. I get it. So when you're teaching these kids, you have to understand. Now think about it like this. If you're the adult at home 7 days a week, how do you turn that off as a child? How do you turn that off to go to school for 6 hours because you in lunch and transition. Between transitions and lunch, you waste a whole hour. So how do you turn that off for 6 hours if you know that you're the adult at home all this time? See, this is what I need my fellow colleagues, and everybody else to understand. I get kids do things that are disrespectful. I get it. But then, what is defined as disrespectful? Do they know that they're being disrespectful? Because the reality is, my definition of disrespectful and your definition of disrespectful and Amber's definition of disrespectful may be two totally different things. So I need you to understand that. Like Amber say, there's levels to this thing. And so I get it. But going back to literacy, it all plays a part because literacy impacts behavior. Literacy impacts the way the parents respond to you. Because you may send an email one way and the parents may receive it another way. See, literacy isn't just reading. Literacy is comprehensive. Literacy involves reading and writing and the ability to hear and to process and articulate back what they're trying to say. A lot of our kids only can articulate bitch, motherfucker, all of this. A lot of our kids can only articulate that. It doesn't make it right, but they can only... At what point do we say, the hell with these tests? The hell with these tests. We got to figure out how we going to teach these kids how to articulate their thoughts without using curse words. I mean...
a combination of community and school.
True.
I don't know how long ago it was, but I think it was a parent-teacher... not necessarily a conference, but more maybe something similar like that, or maybe it was PTA or something. But it was a particular mother. It had to be parent teacher because it was a bunch of parents. A particular mother got on her son in front of the teacher, and pretty much laid out her rules for him as far as school is concerned, and for the teachers. And it wasn't disrespectful. it was more so, okay, as his mother, I'm going to work, doing all this stuff to keep a roof over bills, all that stuff. She's stressed that.
Okay.
Now, to him, he said, look, she's like, you're not going to be disrespectful. You're not going to do all that stuff. If the teacher tell you something,
do it.
Mm-hmm. Boom, 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 boom. And then she got on the teacher. Anytime he's slipping, you need to call me. And make sure when you call, it's actual facts and it ain't no, because you just don't like him or whatever the case may be. So she said,
yep.
So she said that, and then she pretty much put the charge out to everybody else that was there. You need to be more involved in your kids' education.
Mm-hmm.
And just as much as the teachers are charging the parents on hopes of the kids are going home and doing reinforcements, it's the other way around as well. If the teachers are charging the parents need to charge the teachers. Hold each other accountable. This is a community.
That's true.
Thing. That's pretty much what she was doing.
Okay.
And it was just, and you don't see enough of that.
Nope.
You don't see enough of parents going to the parent-teacher conference stuff or PTAs. You don't see enough teachers getting on their kids. Parents getting on their kids. It's more so, the teacher picking on me, and you go with the word with what the child say.
That's true.
No. Like I always had an example of everything. I was doing poorly in math in high school, and
that's why you don't like math. Mm-hmm.
And the teacher was like, "Oh, I'm failing. I'm doing all this other stuff." But the thing about it was, I wasn't doing well on tests, but I was doing okay on quizzes, and I was doing my homework and making sure all that stuff was done. And I was writing everything down in my agenda, what homework I had and everything. So you sending letters to my mom, and I ain't doing what I'm supposed to do. So my mom come up there, and she's like, "Okay, well, what's going on?" And I'm showing her, well, this is what's going on. I don't know what he's talking about. Well, come to find out, he had me confused with another Amber. And when he looked back and seen my stuff, he said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't. She is struggling on the test, but however, she's doing fine on everything else."
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Yeah. And I mean, my mother's always been involved in schoolwork, so she was like, for her it was odd, because she already knew I was struggling in math anyway.
Okay.
She was like, sure you have a binder, you make sure your stuff is done. What is he talking about? And I was like, I ain't doing nothing. I was like, I may, cut up every now and then, or talk in class, or whatever it may be. But I do my work. I ain't skipping. I ain't doing none of that.
Mm-hmm.
So when he was like really like dead set on trying to say, oh, she ain't doing what she's supposed to do. When in actuality, I was like, that's not me. This is my scores. This is where I got. This is the homework. I'm turning everything in. I got copies. It's my binder. My binder's big and thick. And he like, oh yeah. I'm sorry.
You were proving your case.
Yeah. I'm sorry. It's the wrong Amber. I'm sorry, but why I got you here? She is a great student. And she does well. She does just have issues with, the main test. And that's not, until college, I didn't know I had a test anxiety issue. I didn't know that. In high school, I'm struggling. And I'm like, what? I'm doing all right. These quizzes, I'm okay. I get it. But the test, I just can't get it together. But it wasn't until I took statistics in college for the teacher, the professor, who pulled me to the side and say, do you have anxiety?
Mm-hmm.
Test anxiety? She recognized this. And then actually once she took me off to the side and I did my test to the side, then she was like, yeah, because around everybody else and you in the actual setting do your test, you have a brain fart. But by yourself, you good.
And
it's the same thing in psychology. I know it's the same thing in psychology. I end up getting flashed, and I was like, ooh, I gotta step out and get air. And I noticed it then. But if I had known then in high school that I had test anxiety,
it would have been all right.
Right.
Wow. And so, guys, that's why we had these conversations, because we need you guys to understand that we suffer with the same things that we discuss. These are things that we struggle with. Now, see, for me, it was the total opposite. Like, I've always been the academic one. Like, my mom would even say it. My mom used to say stuff like, oh, you're going to be crazy just like your aunt, because if you don't get an A, you crying and carrying on. But that was just my thing. Like, school worked for me. And it was a lot of it is attributed to the fact that my brother was 5 years older than me. Well, being that my parents were so much older and so far removed from the way the school system was by the time they had my brother and I, my brother taught me, when he was doing his work, I would sit there with him. So this is like he was in kindergarten, I was a baby. Of course, I wasn't doing work then, but the first memory I have is probably between 2 and 3 when he was in 2nd and 3rd grade. And, he's sitting me down with him and I'm sitting here just writing everything he do. I'm mimicking it. You don't understand, and this is for parents. You don't understand how much kids mimic and emulate you. You don't understand that. And I realize it because he got me started on the academic path. And when I got older, I just took off with it. Yes, I had other influences along the way, but my brother ultimately got me started on the academic path. Now, what has happened is I gained a love for academics and education because what I found was that, all right, hold up. I'm different. I'm a cool geek. So I got to figure this out because see what's going to end up happening is when I get older, my style, my flamboyance, my urbanism is going to overpower what's up here to other people. Because what's going to happen is they're going to see the tattoos. They're going to see the long nails. They're going to see my lengthy bundles. And they're going to be like, oh yeah, the big earrings. They're going to be like, wait a minute, hold up. So what happened was I battled for about 3 years with, all right, what am I going to do? What am I going to do in life? Because I'm not changing who I am for anybody. Like, I'm not doing that. And for a minute, I did. For a minute, I had cut my nails down to about here. I even cut my hair. And then slowly, I said, wait a minute. I'm looking around me, and I'm looking at people like, hold on. Why am I changing who I am to fit the mold that you're not even possessing? And you're supposed to be here.
Right.
And at that moment, I said, I can no longer be somebody else. It was not until, and this is where the whole MBG, inspires and motivates, come from. It was not until we decided to implement this initiative that I started changing my actual style. You know what I'm saying? I actually started to really piece together my attire. Certain things I'm like, okay, I don't know which way this thing is going, so I don't want to wear this. I don't want to wear that. You know what I'm saying? If I'm going to go short, I might put on a long duster. If I'm going to go sleeveless, I might, I might do a nice scarf, or I might have a big something, some kind of necklace to kind of take the attention off of the bare shoulders, put attention on the necklace. Those type things. But that was by choice. It wasn't by force or when I felt compelled to conform to somebody else. And so I think that's a part of teaching our kids. There's a time and a place for everything.
Yeah.
And I think from literacy to testing to what we're discussing now, there's a time and a place. But I think what we need to do is figure out, what are we going to do to educate our kids? And you already know, Amber J already know what my plan is for 2020. And I pretty much know that it's gonna come to fruition, because He's continuously and consistently putting people in my life that our visions align, or, you know, I'm about to hit Derek Jones. Our assignments support one another's assignment, you know, and so I'm excited because now it has been confirmed with me and for me that the prayer that we prayed when this MBG thing started to order our steps has come back around again. And the fact that that keeps coming back around from so many different sources, that tells me that those are the sources whose assignment aligns with ours, and they need to be on this team. See, when you start talking about a team, everybody kept telling Amber J and I, oh, y'all need a team, y'all need this, and we were like, team. And Jamila, and I think, yeah, Jamila's watching, shout out to Jamila. Jamila even said it, team. She said, I don't want to be on no team. I can support y'all behind the scenes. See, that's how we know that's our team. See, when you're looking for a team consists of a group of people working together. But sometimes a team can consist of a group of people working individually. So, exactly. Jamila is on the MBG team behind the scenes. LaCoya is on the MBG team behind the scenes, and that's okay with them. So the team that everybody else, the team assignment that everybody else had for us wasn't for us. But the team assignment that the higher being has for us was for us. And with that being stated, we're going to transition into the next topic. So, Amber, I'm trying to think. Do we talk about the mental health piece, or do we talk about him? Or viewers, who do y'all want to talk about? Do y'all want to talk about mental health, or do y'all want to talk about him? And if you don't know, him is Don Trump, a.k.a. Donald Trump, a.k.a. Beavis.
Not Beavis.
So y'all tell us, what do y'all want to talk about? Because the mental health piece is hatred a mental health issue, and or at what point does it become a mental health issue? So we're going to give y'all a few minutes to decide what y'all want to do. Oh, mental health. Okay, we got one for mental health. Do we have any more? All right. Well, I guess we're going to go with mental health. Okay. So, in order to start this conversation, I think it's only befitting that we talk about Dylan Roof before we start this conversation. Okay? Oh, we know Adam. We know you support. Look, I feel like Adam, y'all, look, no shade to anybody else. Christy, you family, so you gonna ride regardless. But Adam, we gotta shout out Adam, because let me tell y'all something. I think if we were on the first boat smoking to hell, Adam would still support us. Like, y'all don't understand. Adam supports us in everything. Like, he's there. Adam is in Michigan. But I'm telling you, if Adam was here with us, what? Adam is MBG's Barry Gordy. How y'all feel about that? He is our Barry Gordy. That's what he is. So shout out to Adam. But let's talk about the mental health piece. All right, so like I said, the question is hatred a mental health issue? Or at what point does it become a mental health issue? All right, so Dylan Roof. If y'all don't know who Dylan Roof is the individual who decided that he was going to go up in church, attend Bible study with these individuals, African Americans, of course, and then kill them. All right. Let's dissect it a little bit. I go to the house of prayer, fellowship amongst these African American believers, and I hate black people, but I'm gonna go to this church and fellowship with them, and then I'm gonna kill them. Okay, and then I'm gonna get arrested, and then I'm gonna get treated to something to eat, and then I'm gonna go to jail, and then I'm gonna have a trial. And before I go to trial, I'm gonna be deemed NGRI, or I'm not gonna even say NGRI because he's guilty, but I'm going to, my mental health is gonna come into question. Okay, so his mental health is in question. But then as the trial goes on, I'm like, forget you, lawyer, I got this. Ain't nothing wrong with me. So at what point in Dylan Roof's situation did mental health, did hatred become a mental health issue?
They tried to play it like a mental health issue because who in their right mind will walk up in the church and kill these good Christian black folk that was serving the Lord on that day? Who would do that? They won't bother nobody. They was in there serving the Lord, the same Lord that we programmed during slavery, that same old one. They were good black folk. Why they do that? Who would do that? But they try to play it as a mental health thing, like, oh, it couldn't be phantom in anybody's mind that somebody would just go in somebody's church and front like they was going worship with them, because as the Christian faith, everybody's welcome in the house of the Lord. Mm-hmm. So he goes in there, fronts for a little bit, and then shoots up the place. So then you wait till trial. Well, you confess. And then you wait till a trial and want to show off and be like, oh, I don't need nobody, I'm going to represent myself. And then it comes out, I know what I did, I'm conscious. Mm-hmm. I'm quite sure he was talked to by 2 psychologists. Psychiatrists. Mm-hmm. And he admitted, well, he had no remorse, felt no nothing. So, of course, it's not classified as mental health, the hate itself, because you knew what you were doing. Yep. So that meant rules out the window. But at the same time, to the psychiatrist, it would be mental health because it's on the sociopath line for him to be remorseful on the antisocial end, because he just blaming all the problems on the black folk. But if you really was about this cause, you wouldn't just target the church and went on about your business. You would target different black things, black-owned restaurants, whatever. You wouldn't just target a church and try to push it off on as, I'm trying to help my people. That's not helping your people at all. So you tried it with that line. But honestly, the antisocial sociopath, that is across the board. Anybody who commits a crime, whether it's a hate crime or a robbery or whatever, a rape or whatever, yep, has no remorse and blame the problems on everybody else. That's true. But that's mental health, period. No matter the color. But for you to say you don't like a certain group means you have the conscious, you know what you're talking about. You decided. You made that decision. It was as a child. Well, no, you know what? But Amber, he was programmed. That's what I'm saying. It was planned, because you don't born filled with hate, because you don't know when you're born. Mm-mm. That was taught. Mm-mm. But you'll find out when you go to jail how it is for real. But it was taught. It was taught. So you're being taught that little by little, and it becomes ingrained. Mm-hmm. And so you go out and just listen to the media that gives you the wrong information anyway, because now they like to misinform instead of inform, and so now you go on this killing spree. But for you to walk in a church, whether it was AME or not, for you to walk in a church tells me you got a conscience. And if you went in that church and just sat down for a little bit or worshiped a little bit, whether you was fronting or not, you was battling. Before you pulled that trigger. You was battling. Because they welcomed you, and I don't know who taught this hate thing in this dude, but whatever it was so bad to where you step in the church and you see they weren't acting crazy or whatever, because it was taught about, blacks. They welcome you in the church. They're gonna praise the Lord. Thank you, visitor. Where you from? Are you visiting your home church? What's your home church? All that good stuff they do in the church. Whatever he was taught that something was wrong with black folk, it wasn't displayed. So it was a struggle.
Yep.
That's my take. It was a struggle there. So then you shoot them up, and you get caught up, you get caught and all this stuff. Now the lawyers, as a defense, are going to play the McNaughton rule. It's going to play that because
they got to.
They had no other defense. So now you want to break bad, show how hard you are. Oh, I know what I did. I don't feel no remorse. Blah blah blah. No, you want some John Muhammad time. You don't feel no remorse, or the case may be. But you're showing off,
basically.
Because at the same time, it might be some type of mental health there. I didn't say with the antisocial, sociopath thing, it may be. But the hate thing, no, because you sat in there and struggled with that thing, and you still made the conscious decision to move forward with your thought. You decide to act on your mens rea. That's a criminology term.
All right. Act on that mens rea. Yes.
It was just sitting in your mind at first, but you act upon it. Now you done committed a crime. That's just my take.
So, all right. So, and you guys feel free to chime in, and I want y'all to chime in, but for me, when I think about this hatred thing, I think about it from multiple levels. So I think about it as people can sometimes hate themselves to a point where they live on the defense. So anything you say or do to them in their eyes is negative. And so this is just my theory. My theory is that, in a sense, hatred can be a mental health issue, because if you hate yourself and it's to the point where in your mind everybody hates you, you're going into psychosis. That's just my theory. Like, I feel like you can hate so much that you drive yourself insane. Now that's just my theory, and help me, because I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, I hate the way I look. I hate my life. You can, and everybody that struggles with issues doesn't commit suicide. Okay? I agree, Adam. It comes from severe emotional disturbance. But I'm going to tell you something. I know people and have seen people that have went from high to low in their, physical being, their job being, and they grew to hate themselves. And as a result of hating themselves,
within mind, psychology mind kicks in. And if you're so emotionally disturbed that you hate, goes into a mental health thing. Like, for instance, you hate your body so bad, you eat fat. And people telling you that. Get your anorexic on.
Yep. True.
Or, what's the other one you throw up?
Bulimia.
Like, those are forms of mental health. And I think
True.
when you hate as strong, I think it ends up turning because you end up.
You internalizing everything. You internalize everything. So yeah.
That's what I think.
And I think that's why I am like trying to, with my struggles, I'm like, I can never really think of a point where I hated myself to the point where I just hated the world and walked around just mad.
I got one.
What?
I had an issue with light and dark.
Okay. Here we go. All right, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you have it. Because
I had an issue with self-image because I had a homegirl. I guess I wouldn't. Some people would consider her red.
Okay.
But she was light skinned. She was getting all the dudes. I want to get play, and I'm like, what's wrong with me? I got everything. What's up? And for a long time, I struggled with that. And it wasn't so people were saying stuff like, "Oh, you dark" or whatever the case may be. It was just what I was saying. And I think it might be more so generational than anything.
Okay.
So after a while, I said, you know what? I gotta get out this funk. And that is a sense of mental health because you start hating what you're looking
You
for.
do.
And I agree, Adam. Our hatred can twist and shape our thoughts. It can.
And it's funny because every time we talk about light and dark, I always revert back to talking about my mom and her twin.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a lot of people don't understand. For years, people thought that my mom and my great aunt were sisters. Because my mother lived with my great aunt. She, they even look alike. Because my grandmother had a issue with color. Like, and this is the crazy thing, she even had me messed up for a long time. I had all light-skinned friends, but I hated when somebody called me light-skinned. But I noticed I had all light-skinned friends. In middle school is like when I had a dark-skinned friend and we were inseparable. And but it was this thing because she would say stuff like, well, your brother used to be, your mama's color. And my mama darker than me, but now he dark like your daddy now. And I'm like, what? But she really but the thing is, my great aunt went on to tell me my grandpa June was dark. So I'm like, all this time I associated light skin with something bad or why is it that light skin is so bad? What makes light skin so great? But once again, it goes back to we were programmed to believe that if you were lighter, you were better. If you were darker, you were not wanted. Mm-hmm. And people to this day don't understand that stuff is embedded in us. And I even will go as far to say as I think if you have a sibling that's light, or if you're light and your sibling is dark, or if you're dark and your sibling is light, it causes a conflict there because you're treated differently. Mm-hmm. You are treated differently. And depending on how your parents experience that's going to be contingent upon how they raise y'all. I'm telling you, through the years, I have been able to understand this. And I even told my mother, I can tell the difference in how my brother and I were coddled, so to speak. Mm-hmm. Simply because I truly believe that in the back of my mom's mind, she was probably thinking, now, I was kind of pushed to be raised elsewhere because I was darker. So if I have kids that are different complexions, I'm going to cater to this one, and I'm going to kind of coddle this one a little bit more because I don't want my darker complected kid to feel different.
Right.
But see, I don't think people realize that what ends up happening is you're going to have one type A child and one type B child. And that type A kid going to be so domineering that what's going to end up happening is, even though you've done all this coddling, it's going to end up making the other kid drift off. Because, I'm telling you, and I'm talking to y'all from personal experience. Now that I'm 31 years old, and I have been able to reevaluate my life, my upbringing, and my personality, I can see it. On multiple occasions, I have to tell people I'm not an only child, and I have a brother, and an older brother at that, because people know me, they see me, or they know of me, or they hear about me. So it's like, what? And I have to be like, nah, it's 2 of us. Matter of fact, if you really want to be technical, it's 4 of us. You know what I'm saying? But it's just me and my brother with my mom and dad. And like, people don't, I guess it's like this. What I think has kept me from struggling with mental health issues is simply this. Being able to be openly flawed. Being able to say, I'm flawed, but I've learned how to work through those flaws. Like, in essence, I turn my flaws into a strength, into a career. And so all the flaws that I had, being rebellious, being a loudmouth, being a bully, all of those flaws, I in turn decided that what I had to do was, all right, I need to be in a profession where indirectly I get to be a bully, or I get to be in charge. And because I've always wanted to help and guide people, I get to teach. I had to figure out what worked best for me, because I had to take all those flaws and put them to good use. So I think that the mental health piece comes into play when you are so flawed that your flaws take over your whole entire being, and you cannot channel those and turn them into something great. That's my thought.
So what about what happened in Chicago, where it was 4 black teens, 2 girls, 2 boys, and they tortured a mental health white kid?
And we have a comment, okay.
To read the comment real quick, Adam said, but there is a difference between hatred and social and cultural problems. And while hatred can be normal human emotion, extreme forms have levels of psychodynamics to them. They don't exist as a social problem, but a psychological problem inside themselves.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Pat just commented. So it's interesting to see about these 4 teens and the mental health teen too, because he's 18, I think.
Mm-hmm.
They were truant, obviously.
True.
And it pissed me off because I know people are going to try to, they'll get their Tommy Loren on.
Mm-hmm.
Compared to Black Lives Matter because they was hollering at Trump. No, they did this only one accord. They ain't got nothing to do with the Black Lives Movement.
Yeah, and that's a protest against Trump, not Black Lives Matter, not pro-Black Lives Matters.
So, just as I was serious with Dylan Roof, just as I was serious with Walter Scott's case,
yep.
I'm just serious with this one too.
That's right. That's right.
Because you ain't had nothing else better to do.
That's right.
And just like if somebody wipes some embarrassment, they feel some kind of way. It's the same thing with us. We're embarrassed by these 4 things.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you. I needed you to say that.
We already have to fight enough.
Mm-hmm.
But to see that with people that think a certain way about us anyway, again, they're going to group it together. And it's kind of like, when will y'all get it through your heads to stop? Why you need to act stupid? There was no point for you to fake befriend this guy, to just torment him and beat him up because he couldn't defend himself due to his mental capacity.
So true.
And to me, y'all are whack. Y'all are coward. You need to get your ass whooped. All of that.
True.
And while I appreciate some of the black leaders in Chicago that stood up in the church, of course, and spoke up and said we're embarrassed and all that stuff, I appreciate that, but I'm getting real tired of us and these so-called spokespersons for us. Just getting tired of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm annoyed by it, period. It's a crime. And
that's true. That's true.
It's like you said, where's the line drawn? And
yep.
On this case, I have yet to hear them say, oh, we did it because he was white. Versus Dylan Roof, I did it because they were black and white and white power.
Mm-hmm.
So can we actually say that
Black Lives Matter? Uh-huh.
Hate crime?
Yep.
Or is it just that's the word I'm looking for? Or is it just teens, not necessarily being teens, but teens being stupid and picking on somebody that's not their size?
Okay. Okay.
See what I'm saying? Even though they're calling out F. Trump, they black ass think probably go vote. I'm just giving they black ass think probably go vote. They're probably not even registered.
That's and that's true. But you know what's
I'm stereotyping. I am.
It's all good. You gotta do it somehow. Do what it is. Do what it is.
I am, because they probably didn't vote. Because one girl was smoking on the joint. Probably didn't vote. Probably dropped out.
Uh-huh.
Your highest level of reading is probably 8th grade. Your highest level of completion is probably 9th grade. Maybe 10th at the least. And you just out here in the street, and you probably got parents who are working and don't know what the hell you're doing.
Yep.
Because they're trying to support your behind.
Yep. I agree with that.
So this one kid, not knowing, and people are talking to him, of course, on his mental level of, oh, they're trying to be my friend. And you end up damaging him, not physically, but emotionally and mentally as well. Because he's already struggling with, I'm different. I know I'm different, so what's different about me?
Yeah. Yeah.
And y'all are picking on that instead of picking somebody on their own size. You gotta burn.
And see, you know what that makes me feel like? I'm going to tell you the truth. I think all 4 of them were exceptional. I think all 4 of them had a disability. They weren't in school. They probably dropped out, or they were not dropped out because you can't drop out to a certain age, but they were truant, like you said, and they became truant because they weren't faring well in school. So they figured, well, we da-da-da-da-da, so let's jack him up. You know, and you're right. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Like, it is an embarrassment. You know, in a time where, you know, like MLK said, you know, we don't need an eye for an eye. For real. We don't. You know, at what point are we going to really stand up and rightfully take back what's ours? You know, and when I say what's ours, we have to take back our respect. We have to take back our morals. We have to take back our values. Because what happened was we sold them. We sold our morals and our values. We sold them for inclusion.
And you know what irritates me? The minute I found out, thank you, Growth, for becoming a fan. The minute I found out and seen their faces, I wanted to snatch them up. As like a parent, I wanted to snatch them up and start beating them. Because it didn't make any sense.
Yep.
You have no reason for it.
Yep.
But just something to do. It's just me. And those that are watching and in the chat, please give your thoughts. I don't think it's hate. Until they come out their mouth and say so, that after Trump could, whatever. But if they say it was based on racism, why they did it, even though the media is trying to play that, teens ain't got nothing else better to do. And like you said, they probably got mental health issues themselves.
Now really and truly, like, not even trying to justify it. I always tell my mother not to say this, but I'm about to say it. They look like they had some mental health issues. I mean, look, I need y'all to look at those mug shots. They look like it. And you know, you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but y'all ain't lying. Y'all know they look like they had some mental health issues. Christy, yes. Because who in there really and truly? Who in their right mind really gonna befriend somebody just to do that? Like, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm about to be real ignorant. So excuse me for being ignorant. But I'm about to get real ignorant ratchet. And I'm going to use niggas. And I'm going to use it in the sense that the teenagers use it. A real nigga would have just beat him. Like, they wouldn't have went through all of that foolishness. You know? That's some psycho type stuff. Oh man, let's befriend him. Yeah, that's some Timothy McVeigh, Lee Malvo. That's psychopath type stuff.
Exactly.
Now see, I can see the DC sniper. I put the DC sniper in them in the same boat because they picked their targets. They picked their targets. They were looking for specific targets. So, you know, Timothy McVeigh, all of them. That's crazy. That's foolery. That's foolery. Yeah. And probably he was the easiest prey.
Of course.
He was their easiest prey because they know they couldn't have gotten there another black person.
Yeah, he would be, and an elderly person would be.
Yeah, because see, what would have happened was if they would have found a black person, y'all know, black people come in groups. We wouldn't have went to their house by ourselves. I would have been like, Amber, these people just invited me over. You trying to ride? We ain't going to nobody's house we don't know by ourselves. So it would have been 2 of us to the 4 of y'all. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think I would have went by myself. I would have had a peacemaker. So, you know, they were crazy. Because the other thing is this. How did they... This how you know they won't think it. Y'all, it's for y'all, black folk. How y'all didn't know that this white guy won't gonna tell the police to come there and not him? Y'all specifically, y'all picked y'all target. You know, y'all had a little bit of sense, but it wasn't good enough. Y'all had that delayed sense.
2 girls who took their mugshot need to go back on a different stylist because their bundles was a hot ass mess.
They want bundles, honey. That was them. That was that mix, that premium blend mix.
Ugh.
That was that blended mix.
And then you put it on Facebook Live.
Now that's foolish. Now really, y'all, really, come on, y'all.
And you didn't think nobody was gonna report?
Dylan Roof ain't even go Facebook Live, but he got the mental health issues. Like, yo, I don't know.
thought that was hot enough to put on Facebook Live and won't nobody gonna tell them.
Yes, indeed they did. Yes.
And that just shows you the mental capacity of the teenager.
Yep.
Because they might have been 17, 18, but their brain was acting what age?
2.
That thing is crazy.
It is, guys. I'm telling you, like, y'all don't understand. Amber J and I, like, we literally try to figure these things out. And that's why we discuss them, because I know a lot of stuff we know, but a lot of stuff we don't know. And so that's why, you know, we continue to always talk to you guys about how this whole MBG thing came into play. And a big part of it was simply because of the fact that
That's true, Christy.
there are so many things that go on. What she say? Let's see.
Don't think back around other
Heck no, they don't.
They're still developing.
True. They don't know. Oh, babies, they don't know what's going on.
I was impulsive too when I was a teenager. Very impulsive. I'll catch an attitude quick.
Okay. I was born with an attitude, so it ain't come as a teenager.
I had people around me that was on me as well. But it goes back to the village concept.
All right. You right.
The village concept. It's like, I remember being in 4th grade, and the teacher would piss me off so bad, I would smack the table and stomp off because I would be so mad.
Oh, wow.
Then,
well, see, now you would be classified as ED, emotionally disturbed, if you did that.
See, and you can't go through life like that. And that's why it takes, people, family, friends, neighbors, whoever, to be like, oh, we're going to put you in Taekwondo or something. But you can't say they put it on Facebook and deny that there is a serious social and cultural issue there somewhere.
Okay.
Well, because, again, this is the world of social media now. At one point in time, they could have done this and got away with it without, because there wasn't no such thing unless they were doing. But people are so gone off of, we're so technology savvy now. Everybody's putting everything on Facebook, and there's no discretion, there's no privacy. But it is. So does it come to a point where what's socially media accepted?
Okay.
Like the disrespect has levels. What you put on social media has levels.
Okay. I don't know.
Question to pose.
Hey, I mean, Adam, I get it. Like, I get it. Like, I can see why you would say that, because most of the time we do use social media to push our political, cultural, spiritual agenda. So yeah, I get it.
Yeah, Facebook activists instead of going out on the forefront.
Yeah, so I get it. I think, I don't know. I guess I feel like it can go either way. I feel like, for real, it could be that they really hate the president-elect that much. It could be. And now this might be a low blow. But from the time I've seen Donald Trump's son, I thought something was wrong with him. And this is going a bit deep, but in their mind, you know how people used to make the little voodoo dolls, make a doll that look like you and stick them with pins? That kid could have been symbolic to them of Donald Trump's son, and that's why they did that. Y'all, you don't know how people think.
You're right, but I doubt it.
But I'm just saying, like, not saying that they think that deep. See, that's why I have to stay prayed up, because see, y'all just don't know how my brain used to work, for real. So, but I'm just saying, like, I could see that kid being symbolic of his son, and this is what's gonna happen to your son as a result of you being president. I'm just saying. So I get where Adam coming from. There was a message there, and I think it probably was socio-political. Like they can't vote, so they can't really do anything about it. So this is how they telling him, we hate you. Like, I don't know. They are an embarrassment. If y'all parents out there in social media land, your kids are an embarrassment to the African American race. And if y'all would have been beating their butts, they wouldn't have did it. But because of the establishment and their child abuse laws, parents can't whoop kids anymore. Or they can't whoop them and leave marks or whatever. I mean, I don't get it, because I feel like you need to beat your kid tail to keep them in line, straight up. Beat them. Beat them. But, it is what it is. But, I guess since we talking about him, this is the best way to lead into it. Let's go get straight to it. So, Amber, tell the people all about Trump and what's been going on with him. I'm going to step away for 1 second because I've been baking, so I want one of my brownies. Girl, I've been cooking up a storm.
Oh, wow. It's a lot been going on with him. Y'all don't say his name. So, it's a lot been going on with him. Just here recently, the former chief of the CIA was interviewed about him and his behavior. And he's pretty pissed. He mentioned that anybody can tweet. Everybody can have Twitter fingers, so to speak. But the stuff that he's